So we'll be looking at safeguarding your mental health as an entrepreneur in trying times. Before I proceed, I will want to briefly introduce myself. So my name is Chize Angela, popularly called Nurse Angela. So I am the head of College of Health in CLI College. And joining up with me is one of my facilitators, a colleague. Her name is Nurse Uwana Etebo. She is a mental health psychiatric nurse. And so both of us will be giving you little, or let me say, information on safeguarding our health during this trying time, especially for an entrepreneur, courtesy of Smartpreneur and CLI College. In these times, we know globally the world is experiencing challenges everywhere. Um, some places in the world we have financial um, meltdowns, and some places, war, different challenges that is already impinging on our mental health. And as an entrepreneur, small business owner, big business owners, a whole lot of them are struggling because each and every new day brings us challenges. So we are going to look at what mental health is all about for entrepreneur in this time. So first and foremost, we're going to look at the common mental health challenges faced by entrepreneurs. So we have number one here, high rate of mental health issues. We have high rate of mental health issues. A whole lot of the entrepreneurs, because of the stress they go through each and every day with all the changes in the society, and these things impose a stress on them, either physically, psychologically, and emotionally. So we have a whole lot of them suffering depression, anxiety, mood swings. And another one is the increased risk of burnout. And because of this too, we have a whole lot of them going through burnout because, of course, they are stressed, and they don't even have the, how will I put it, they don't have this opportunities, or they don't avail themselves the opportunity of relaxing, resting. They just want to keep pushing themselves beyond limits just to make up for what they think is suffering in their business, or to meet their set targets and goals. And but before you know what is happening, they are mentally fatigued or physically fatigued, and you find them ending up in hospital spaces, or some of them would even mentally not be able to cope, and such businesses will just wrap up and you find them depressed from the whole episode. Then we have the impact of financial stress, which is global. Even in homes, let's even say the breadwinner is the entrepreneur in their home. A whole lot of persons each and every day wake up trying to see what new modifications they can make just to cope with this financial stress currently faced globally. The Their finances are no longer enough to cope with their day-to-day needs. So you can imagine a business owner who has projections. At the beginning of the year, this person had sat down to do budget, to say, okay, this is what I'm going to expend, and this is supposed to be my gain, this is supposed to be my income, this is supposed to be my cash flow. And all of a sudden, some months down the line, this same person cannot even get anywhere near what he or she has projected. So all this could lead to mental health issues, and you find them suffering from anxiety, from depression, which are one of the major factors that we've seen with entrepreneur. Some, if they don't manage it very well, could even go suicidal because they are tired and they're looking at everything. They can't make a head or tail out of it. And of course, they've made so much financial commitments. Some have gone to take loans, some have had people who had made major commitments into seeing their business grow. Some had gotten people to invest so that they could execute projects and businesses. And at the end of it all, it comes to nothing. Then we have long working hours, because these people, maybe small business owners, at the point of starting this their business, they can't afford to get more hands. They can't employ extra laborers. They can't even get ad hoc staff, so they have to multitask. And you see them pushing themselves beyond limits, working longer hours just to make sure that all the hats they are wearing for their businesses, they get each desk or job executed. So this also tells on their health, and before you know what is happening, some of them are coming down with ulcers, some of them are coming down with hypertension, some are coming down with diabetes because of their eating lifestyle, and a whole lot of sicknesses. And before you know what is happening, it's also eroding into their mental health spaces, and they have challenges in this area. Then another one is lack of support network. Some people don't even have who they can call or who they can talk to. They are going through a lot. I always joke with my students and say there are some persons with uh, a lot identity cards. They belong to the a lot nation. So they don't even have who they can confide in. They don't have outlets they can express their fears, their anxiety, their worries. And of course, there's no form of recreation. And in this part of the world, most people don't even believe in therapy. They don't believe in seeking help. Some would always attribute whatever challenges they are going through into spiritual problems. And so all this sums up, and before you know what is happening, they are choked. And before you could say what is going on, you find them checking themselves into asylums or becoming mental health cases. Some, just to also burn out, end up becoming users. They stick to alcohol to push their worries behind them. Some will start doing drugs just to get into that state of that euphoric state of saying nothing is happening, all is well. And before you know what's happening, they are not able to cope with their challenges again, and they become issues to themselves and to their loved ones and to the society at large. So what are the factors that are responsible for all those mental health issues? We have physical factors like pollution, of course, in the society where we live in, and across the world, pollution is another thing. And of course, this alters the physical components, and a whole lot of health issues come up with pollution. You have people suffering lung disease, cardiac, and the moment it creeps in, alongside with the pressure they are facing with the challenges they are getting from running their businesses, you discover that they would in no time slip into the mental health imbalance state. Then we have working conditions. Of course, working conditions these days are poor. For example, let me cite a typical example of the one that I know so well. Here in this country, the healthcare industry, where most hospitals have extended their work hours. Initially, people used to do like 3 shifts. You now find that just to cut down costs, and to also micromanage the number of personnel they have. You have people working extended hours. Most shifts are now to some even do 24 hours. And mentally and physically, even psychologically, some persons can't cope. Now you now find the business owner too, who at the end of the day will still have to put in more hours just to make sure that things are done. So you would see that this thing keeps happening to a point where this person might not be able to cope again, and the person would break down. Burnout will of course come in, and emotionally there's an imbalance, because when you give attention to something, there are so many things that will suffer. And if that person is not careful, the person might not be able to balance their work life with their social life, with their emotional life. And you find some marriages breaking because either the spouse is complaining, the spouse of the entrepreneur complaining that, oh, I no longer get attention from, is always working, and so that begins to happen. Then socially too, the person is also losing friends and family, and at the end of the day, this person becomes a recluse. Even when things are going bad, the person is unable to have friends or family who would notice, because they hardly see such person, they hardly notice anything. The person is not even committed to their loved ones or friends socially. So before they would even know if anything is happening, it's probably out of control. And that's why you see one or two persons will commit suicide, and it will take days before neighbors can even detect if anything is wrong, because before that time the person has yanked his or herself off the social radar. So all these are part of it. Then we have toxic relationship. Yes, the person is that's like a social factor. The person is not having people to talk to, or even the person, the entrepreneur, the ones he or she is looking up to, have no how would I put it? They don't have any promising thing to tell the person. This is somebody who has walked up to you complaining about the challenges, and rather than give the person positive um advice, or point the person in the direction that is going to lift them off their moods which they are in already, you are also giving them the downside to what is going on, telling them things that could even make them have negative views. And at the end of the day, this person has come to you to seek counseling. The person is going home more depressed than he or she came in. So all this could also affect them. Some persons abuse. The terrain is challenging, and financially they are facing their challenges. Politically, the terrain is unstable. They are scared of making investment. They are scared of even growing their business beyond what it is, because they don't know what they will wake up to see. The terrain is unstable. So entrepreneurs, of course, are challenged in this space. Then we also have poor support. They don't have people to talk to, because the person, like I said earlier on, the person they are running to also is pressed or choked in their space. So you're coming to them for rescue, and they don't have anything palatable to tell you. Rather, they are also complaining about what challenges they are facing. So all this sums up to most of the factors that further destroys a young uh, person or an upcoming business owner, or even somebody who is already in business, an existing entrepreneur. So quickly, without much ado, let's look at the statistics. So it is seen that depression is twice likely to occur in in somebody who is an entrepreneur. Depression. Bipolar is also twice likely to be their problem. Substance abuse tops the chart, triples the size, because of course most people will always go into trying to get into that euphoric state of nothing is going on. So they either take to bottle drinking, some of them would actually do drugs, and so where they don't want to be in that reality state that there's a problem somewhere. So we have substance abuse topping the chart. Suicide is twice likely, and it's unfortunate that in recent times we are beginning to see people go suicidal. The rate of suicide is also on the increase, and if care is not taken and this space is not looked into, we could have suicide topping the chart. Now, it is disheartening to know that one out of every four entrepreneur experiences anxiety disorder or depression. Of course, they are anxious. They don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. They don't know what the business they've started with, the way, especially in this part of our own country, the fluctuation we experience with the forex. Any investor would be anxious. You don't want to put money because you don't know what is going to happen. Today it's up, tomorrow it's down. It's just going like a yo-yo. You can't even fix your price. You can't even make projections. That's the truth. You can't make projections because it's not static. You can't do any forecast. Then depression, of course, for the ones who are already there, and the whatever investments they've made seem to be yielding, and all of a sudden everything has gone south, and all they are doing just to resurrect their business is no longer working. Every time they try to go this way, one issue or the other is coming up to form a brick wall. So a whole lot of them sink into depression, and we're noticing it's becoming rampant. Business folding up, people packing up their businesses. Some entrepreneurs have gone into becoming employers. Some of them have gone into becoming dusting their certificates and becoming job seekers. Someone who used to be an employer of labor is now out there looking for job because their so-called business is no longer worthing their while. So these are the little statistics we are able to dig out to say that mental health issues are really challenging in these times to business owners. So at this point, I'm going to invite my colleague, Nurse Wana Etebo, to take it up from here.
It's good to have you here. I'm your co-host for today's program session, where we are looking at the mental health and linking it to entrepreneurs at these trying times. As a mental health nurse, I will really want you to understand the dangers that comes when you are venturing into entrepreneurship. I want you to understand first of all what health is all about. Because if I start talking about mental health, I really want you to know what health is all about. WHO makes us understand that health is a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So when you're saying you're not having abdominal pain or you didn't have accident, you should understand that your mental health also is very, very vital to make you a complete individual. So, and the mental health here comes, it makes us to understand that is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being as well, which an individual acts in the right way, feels in the right way, and equally think in the right way. So as entrepreneur, you have to make sure all those aspects are well taken care of. Your thinking will make you venture into what you understand better. The way you act also will make you a better entrepreneur or the other way. and the way you feel about your business. That's why I want to advise every entrepreneur to make sure you have the knowledge, the intricate of what you want to do before you go in there. So that will prepare your mental state so as well for you to be able to go in and then explore it the way you should. You shouldn't just go in there without having the knowledge. So you have to make sure your target audience is there. You know, most of us, we put ourselves at that space of mental disorder because we didn't look. We just saw someone venturing into a business somewhere, which the person have done all the necessary survey, and you, because you think that person is making so much money, okay, the business look lucrative, then let me set it up where I am, not minding who and who are there. Are those things what they need at that very environment? So that also are things that we need to safeguard to make sure our mental health is going on well, that we are healthy and we take care of ourselves. My colleague, however, I'm sorry, I think I didn't really make mention of my name. I'm Nurse Uwana, a mental health psychiatric nurse. So I'm here as a co-host for this program. So I'm going to tell you those few things that most of us take for granted as an entrepreneur, which are very important in safeguarding our mental health. And one of those things, like I did mention, is the survey of the environment that we're exploring. How do we know? How do we know about what we are doing? An entrepreneur, you understand, it's risk taking. It's something that you need to understand. You know, it's something that there are some risks that are involved. So for you to have a tutor take you through, someone that gives you a clue of what you're expecting will make you prepared, because one of the things that helps us as to keep our mental health in a good state is using the coping mechanisms. And there are some healthy coping mechanisms as well as unhealthy coping mechanisms. Like my colleague made mention of substance abuse, that's a coping mechanism for somebody, but unfortunately it's an unhealthy one. So we just have to make sure when we understand what we are venturing into, and then we develop, have the skills on how to treat that terrain, it makes it better and it makes it productive. It makes us able to withstand whatever we are going to see in that environment. So one of the things she has made us understand that 1 in 4 individuals suffers mental health in the society as an entrepreneur. So one of the things we need to make sure we put in place as entrepreneurs is for us to understand what we are doing. That's one, which I've actually emphasized on and make you understand them well. Then practice self-care. It's a business, yes. Don't invest everything in it. Have time for yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself. Your self-care is making yourself, putting those things in place that makes you happy. When you're happy, you'll be able to focus. When you're happy, you'll be able to make some valuable decisions, and not decisions out of probably stress or out of frustration. So try and make sure you take care of yourself. Self-care is very, very important. That comes to exercises, how you eat, your good feeding habits, and social lives, and all of that. So make sure as an entrepreneur, as much as you invest in that business, invest on yourself as well. So to help you cope with whatever is happening in the environment. You can imagine you putting in some millions in an investment and you're not really having that time to relax. You remain at that state of anxiety. Some negative hormones will be produced excessively. There should be an equilibrium. As much as we use these hormones to work every day in our everyday life, but when it exceeds the normal range, it becomes a problem. So why remain in that anxiety and not go out with friends? Why remain in that anxiety and not involve yourself in exercise, and then start producing more than enough adrenaline, which begin to push you at that point of hypertension and every other thing you can think about. So another thing that you should do as an entrepreneur is set a boundary. Let's identify when it should be a working time and when it should be a resting time as an entrepreneur. So set that boundary. Know when you should do something and when not to. We should also be sensitive to our alarm clock. We all have alarm clock. The most time we suppress it or we ignore it. After that time that you find out that you are not understanding things better, when there's brain fog syndrome, you just find out that overload of work, overload of stress, overload of expectation as an entrepreneur has made you start feeling down. That feeling of malaise. You start feeling irritable. Your At that time probably your employee might just come and ask you, oga please, you asked us to do this better, please can you walk out of my office. When you see that you are shifting to that space, please pull back, refresh yourself, restore your energy, and then push on. Because if you happen to probably slump, if you happen to fall down there, let me tell you, work goes on. Those people, they might either, your employee might either get job somewhere else, and then comes the end of everything. So if you have that at the back of your mind, that there should be boundaries. Don't take things that are supposed to be handled in the office to the house, and don't transfer those things that are supposed to be done at home to the office. So set your boundary and make sure you give your time, you give yourself that time. Delegate. Most of us entrepreneurs, we believe we know everything, we can do everything. So look at your employees' strength and then work with it. Don't just look at their weaknesses. Identify their strengths, utilize it, delegate, and make sure you pull out back and then supervise. See how much they are putting into it. Is it something you need to give them advice on? Is it something you need to give them more tutorial or more training for them to get it right? Don't just believe you can do everything, because at some point we all have our stretch. You have elasticity. When you exceed your elasticity, that is when you begin to snap. That is when you become irritable. That's when anxiety comes. That's when depression comes, because of work overload. Then seek support. Yeah, that is where we get to another point. Seek support. Support system can be from your family, it can be from your friend. It can be from a colleague that has been in this business for a longer time, so he knows the pros and cons when it comes to this particular business. So seek support when there is need for. Ask people question. Tell people what is happening. You are not the first person going through that, so you don't need to hold it yourself and then solve the problem yourself. Seek knowledge, seek support, find out from people that have been there what they've been able to do. That will help you ease a lot of stress. That will help you reduce some level of frustration. That will help you reduce some level of depression when you begin to feel things are not going on well. So at this moment, it's just because this is not happening, that is what is happening. The economy goes on. And you know how important the entrepreneurs are in the economy of a nation. So see yourself to be that stronghold of the economy, and make sure you take care of yourself so as to grow the economy and then grow yourself as well. Afraid. This fear of unknown. What will happen here? What will happen there? Please, you are not the only one there. That's why I say seek knowledge. Find out from people what happens when this happens. So don't be afraid to venture. It's a risky environment. That's what entrepreneurship is. It's a risky environment. So if you want to be able to get that, get information better that will help you to strive through that risk and get it right. That is one thing you should know. And then actively encourage employee. Some of the employers, some of the entrepreneurs, they believe they can do everything, and however you handle your employee, your business will go on. No, let me tell you today, no. The effect of what your employee goes through will also have a bounce back to your business. So if your employee are the very right good state of mind, if they have the necessary working environment, a conducive working environment, productivity will be high. So why look at yourself only and forget those people that are doing the back work? So as much as you want your mental health to remain stable, please make sure your environment is a healthy one. Take care of your employee, make them understand what they should do. Like I said, work with their strength, utilize their strength, and then help them to work on their weakness. You can't reform anybody. Everybody is coming from an environment, so you don't think because you're doing things this way, when this person come he has to do it this way. No, understand where that person is coming, accommodate them. So like you said, in mental health, the way you act, the way you feel, and the way you think. So your at some point it get filled up, and what we need to do is delete some things. And yeah, how do you delete? Get somebody to talk to. Find out around your environment, your healthcare provider, seek for help. There is nothing wrong. You going to seek mental health assistance does not make you vulnerable, does not make you weak, because that's one thing entrepreneurs are afraid of. They are afraid of being seen as vulnerable. If they see me that this week, they won't be able to give me the attention I need, they won't be able to do this for me. Please, it's your health you're talking about. It's your health you're concerned. So as much as you can, seek help. Look for the nearest available health facility. Report what you want to tell them. Let them understand how you're feeling. For 2 nights now, I've not been able to sleep because I communicate with the ship that is bringing my good. And for 2 days you've not slept, and you think it's just a mere anything you can just overlook. No, you need to seek help. And there's this misconception and stigmatization that is making so many people when what you're thinking is not related to what is going on there, and the way you are acting is abrupt. So you need to make sure you take care of your mental health and be responsible. That brings me to what we had as our World Health Mental Health theme for this year. It said mental health, universal human right. So it's your right to be mentally fit. So nobody owes you that. If you know what is your right, you protect it. So try as much, even as you're trying to grow the economy, you want to be known for this, you want your name to be on the billboard for this, make sure you take care of your mental health as well. Make sure it's a priority and not just the business. Some of us ignore our health and focus on just the business. And at some point, we come with so many disorders, like my colleague mentioned, anxiety, we come with depression, we come with bipolar, because at this moment, you are excited because you made the best sale, and at this moment, things, the economy, the exchange is not really good, you are swinging to this other end. And if you don't seek help as at that moment, before you know it, that is how, because you've told your body, be going up and down. So your secretion of the neurotransmitter and hormones are just they are haywire. They're just going up and down. Before you know it, that becomes the way your body understands, the modality your body works. So before you know it today, you are excited, everybody in the house is feeling well, your workers are okay with you. Tomorrow you are coming to the office, everybody has to hide because you are not in a very good state of mind. Bipolar is that swing. You're here today excited, tomorrow you are depressed. So many entrepreneurs, because of the fluctuation in adjustment, and we as entrepreneurs are supposed to live in the time. Yes, this is what is happening now. Adjust to it. Don't believe, oh, that's how I used to do it, then I have to do it the same way. Things have changed. Why don't you bring up strategies, seek for help, and let someone help you, counsel you on how to go about it. You find out that, oh, right now is the other way around. So live in the time, and yes, you have a different aspiration. In 5 years time, I want to be the most influential entrepreneur and everything. Then now the economy has come. Yes, you're welcome, Omuha. At the moment, we have to step in. I wish we can give priority, we can give the attention we need to give concerning our mental health as it were today, because so many people are going through terrible conditions and they can't even pinpoint where it's common. So understanding yourself and understanding your mental health, how important it is, will make one take some decisions and then help himself out of any difficult situation. Question, please. Okay, someone is asking, Sylvia is asking of bipolar, for me to throw more light. Like I explained, bipolar is that state of swing of mood where at some point an individual remain at that very high surge of excitement, is very active, and before you know it, the person is feeling depressed. I related it to what we experience as entrepreneur. Today you go to your business center and you make a huge sale. So you are so happy, you're confident, and then tomorrow you go in there, you find out that it's not as it was yesterday. So some of us, we are not able to cope with that. We are not able to live in at the time. So we begin to feel somehow, and then we expose ourselves to that state of moody feeling, unhappy, and all those things are being influenced by neurotransmitters. They are being influenced by some chemicals in the body which are to keep us in that very state. For you to be excited, you need some dopamine and all of that to help you remain at that state of excitement. So you are happy today because you made great sales, and tomorrow there is none. Then you find out that the dopamine level is so you so crowded with so many thoughts, and it's so low, and it pushes you to that state of moodiness. As much as you don't listen to yourself, you are not conscious of yourself to understand the way your body works. So you keep yourself going on and on in that state. At some point, there's what they call adaptation. The body understands, this is how I've been exposed to work. Okay, this is how I've been introduced to function. So it begins to function in that way. So when you don't even need to be excited, you can find out that the surge comes in and you're excited. When you need people are even excited at that moment, you are depressed because there is that low moment of you. Then you start exhibiting what we call bipolar. So it's a two pole, like say bipolar. You're excited now, you're depressed the other time. That's what bipolar is all about. Teaching mental health, we are concerned about the welfare of the environment. Like we say, entrepreneurship grows the economy. So it's going to boils back to us as mental health provider. If the economy is not doing well as a result of poor mental health state of an entrepreneur. So that brings us to this space. Yes, Chinwe says, so is it wise to start with loan or better manage the little you have? Like I said, smart entrepreneur is there, you just need coaching, because entrepreneurship is not just what you venture into, it should be something you know. That is why if you want to really see people that strive for entrepreneur, they have been under a tutorial of somebody, so they know what that particular business entails, what are the challenges. So it's not a matter of either you go with what you have, you're going with a loan and it's a business you understand very well. There's nothing wrong with you getting a loan and you're committed in that. That is your where you have your passion, something you can do. Because entrepreneur, some of us believe because it's your business, you can sleep and then wake up by 10 o'clock. You just need to make sure you invest as much as you can and then have the time. I'm not saying you shouldn't rest, because rest is very essential when it comes to your mental health. An individual is asking Akin Lolu if it has to do with aging. I don't really understand what you mean by aging. If you're asking if an entrepreneur must be within a certain age, I will say no. Because we have retirees that venture into entrepreneurship at age 60 and they do well. Probably in the field of they're during their active age, they couldn't factor those two together because probably they were conscious of their health as well. So now that they'll be disengaged in the primary job, they now can have give their attention. So because we understand entrepreneurship is a risky environment, so we just need to give it the time and the attention needed. So age is not as age does not prevent venturing into entrepreneurship. It's your passion and how informed you are in that particular line of business. As much as we can, Madam Chinwe is asking how often we're going to have this. We've introduced ourselves into your space. It's going to be on and probably on different topics. Today we are handling entrepreneur and their mental state. So sometime it's going to be something else. We are here to help as much as we can. So I will conclude by saying, as an entrepreneur, as much as you invest in your business, try and make sure you invest in your mental health to keep you fit and make our society a healthy one. Thank you very much.
Oh, so I've really had a wonderful time here in the studio. Even as a nurse, I've picked one or two things that were salient about being an entrepreneur or being a boss, and how to cope with the challenges that come with sitting at the helms of affair and making sure things work. So, as an entrepreneur, like my colleague said, it's not only about work, work, work. The saying about all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, cuts across every person. And I will also employ us as an employer of persons. You should also look out for your people as well. So there are so many innovations you can put in into your workspace that will make work interesting, that will make people working with you look forward to coming to work, because it helps them. They all not only work, they also unwind, they also love the space they are working in, and that makes the entire process healthy. Sometimes it's not all about pressure, monotony. You could put some spices, the thank God it's Friday things, the occasional team bonding things you initiate, one or two sparks here and there, even training, helping them to upgrade themselves. So every now and then there's something new, something to look forward to, something that it's mind blowing, something that helps them to take a new breath of fresh air, something that makes them unwind, which facilitates a good team spirit and also helps you as a person, because when you have people that are stable physically, emotionally, psychologically in your workspace, you have less attrition. And of course, you will group people into taking up leadership space, even in your business. That when you're not there 24/7, like you believe you are invincible and you should be there, when you're not there, you can go to sleep, be rest assured that your business is still going on with you or without you. So you can operate behind cameras when you have people at the ends of affair that are competent. So it's also on you as an entrepreneur to make your work space or your work environment for your staff stable and healthy, just to have this continuity. So I'm saying a big thank you to us all for availing ourselves to be part of this beautiful program. So, like someone once asked us, how often? So, I will implore you to follow us on our IG space, social media handles. Follow Smartpreneur. Every now and then, of course, they will always prompt you when they are about to have new programs. Smartpreneur, in their magnanimous entity, have decided to start a new season. They have a new season, which is the Smartpreneur TV show, which helps you to promote your business, because your business will be seen by millions of potential customers, clients, investors, and this will help your business to grow. So as an entrepreneur, whether small or big, you're struggling in this space, Smartpreneur is there to help you out. They are there to bail you out. In fact, they are your soft landing. So you just go to sleep and you have people taking care of this space for you. So I will encourage you to quickly contact them, follow them, link up with them, do everything you can to become a smart, not only an entrepreneur, but a smartpreneur person. And you will see that your mental health will have the boost that it also needs. So thank you all, and we at CLI College, we are also saying thank you for being part of this beautiful program this day, and know that no matter how laid back you are, no matter how obsolete you think you are, CLI College is there to give you the career prompts, the shove you need in the right direction. So start your career now, start your new career curve, your new career path by coming to us at CLI College. We've got you covered. We've got you covered. You come as you are, and we'll help you, counsel you, talk to you, help you think outside the box, look at you as a person, and tell you which best space you'll be okay to thrive in. So we are looking forward to having you in CLI College. We are also looking forward to seeing you at our platform, our career up platform, where you just at one click you will see different kinds of certification courses, accredited courses recognized everywhere in the globe that you could do to give yourself the career boost. You want to upgrade yourself, you think you've been stagnant or you are obsolete in a space, please do not hesitate. Just start today. In fact, start now by going to our career up platform in CLI College, and just with one click you see the hundreds of different certifications we have, which will just be what you need to bring that new spark into your curriculum vitae. So thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you again. Looking forward to being part of your lives by having this kind of webinar time and time again. And like I said, please follow all our social media handles, that of CLI College, that of Smartpreneur, and you'll be glad you did. So this is from the stables of the CLI College and Smartpreneur. We're saying take care of yourself, take care of your mental health space, take care of your loved ones. A happy people makes a happy nation, and a happy nation gives you a happy world. Thank you.